Hello, Cancer, and welcome into your reading for the second half of August. So today we'll be taking a look at your job and career perspective, love and relationships, and then also your life path and mission. So before we jump into those specific details, just kind of do a general little bit of an energy read as to what the overarching energy is for today for you. We'll go ahead and do that. We'll take our 3 from the top, 3 from the bottom. So we have our 6 of shells, ace of shells, 8 of crystals, and then from the bottom we have our traveler in reverse, ace of acorns, and 6 of crystals. So taking a look at those, our shells are our cups, and then crystals are pentacles. So for our cups, the energy that you're sitting in right now, and I love this deck with the otters. So your 6 of cups energy is this kind of comfort, nostalgia, and tradition. So kind of that warm and fuzzy sort of energy, and the creativity and inspiration and love. So you're kind of in that happy, warm and fuzzy place. And then with your 8 of pentacles, that's your expertise. And so you're really kind of feeling that nice sweet spot. Over here on the energy that's coming up from the bottom of the deck, maybe what you're not expecting is some fear of the uncertainty, because the traveler, that's the fool. So the traveler in reverse is kind of like a little bit of the fear of the unknown. You're wanting to look before you leap. Ace of wands, the acorns is wands, but that's some of that excitement and the creativity and the new beginnings. And then your 6 of pentacles, that's going to be that comfort and the 6 of pentacles, that's going to be that charity and generosity. So some really good positive energy from both perspectives. So even though this the fool is in reverse, there's a little bit of that fear of the unknown, but you are sitting in good creative energy. So before we get into each of the kind of individual areas that we're looking at, a few big picture things that are happening right now. We do have the new moon in Leo on the 17th, and so that's going to be about kind of some new creative projects. So that's that energy that's coming up from the bottom of the deck, that new projects and breakthrough. So that's happening on the 16th. On the 27th, we have Mars entering Libra, and that's going to be bringing in kind of some more energy in terms of dealing with people. You know, if you've kind of been in a slump lately of every conversation feels like it's a headache or a drain, you're going to have a little bit of that surge of new energy to be able to deal more effectively with people and communicate more effectively. And then the big thing coming up at the very end of the month is we do have our blue moon in Pisces, and that's going to be a supermoon. So that is the second full moon of the month and the second supermoon. So it's going to appear larger and brighter. And new moons full moons are about kind of endings, ending out certain cycles. But this one, it's really going to be, Ace of Cups was wanting to come through, is really going to be a major change. This is a great time for meditation and healing, and getting rid of what really isn't serving you. So let's go ahead and jump in on the career side. So the Ace of Cups was wanting to come out, and this is all about creativity and inspiration and love. So we'll leave that one here kind of in the middle, as an energy that God, the universe, the divine really wants to send your way. So from a job, career perspective, in the recent past, you had the Chariot, currently sitting in King of Swords in reverse energy, and the next level of energy coming through is the Magician. So in the recent past, you've had this kind of fast-moving energy about overcoming obstacles and getting that good forward movement, and that's kind of put you in, King of Swords in reverse energy is kind of more about like coldness. So that seems to, maybe you rushed things a little bit, and you overcame these obstacles, but it didn't give you exactly the results you were thinking that were coming through. So it kind of pushed you into a little bit of that that place of, maybe those results came too easily, or that you had to fight too much for them. So that kind of puts you in a little bit of a bitter or cruel type of energy. But then what's coming through for you is more of kind of that transformative energy. So I see that turning it around. So this was just a little bit, seems like it's maybe just a little bit of a blip, that even though, yes, you had some victory and you had some good success, some kind of quick success, there was something about it that didn't feel, it didn't give you the warm and fuzzies the way you thought it was going to. So it kind of left you a little bit jaded, but it looks like you're turning that energy around, especially with the Ace of Cups having been like a jumper card at the very beginning with the creativity and expression. So let's take a look at your love and relationships dynamic for the second half of the month. So you're coming out of the Hierophant in reverse, currently sitting in Queen of Swords in reverse, and Page of Pentacles in reverse is the next level of energy coming through. So you've been in a place where you've been thinking about freedom and thinking outside of the box, but that's kind of pushed you also into kind of an energy where you feel like you're being criticized. So maybe you've been doing something a little bit different when it comes to love, and people haven't been understanding you as well as you would have hoped for. And then with your Page of Pentacles as the next level, that's kind of like a sense of a little bit of laziness, and you don't really know what to do. So you were trying something new and it wasn't received as well as you thought. So now you're kind of sitting there just scratching your head like, I don't know what I should do. Well, that didn't work. So who knows what I should do next? One of the things to keep in mind in terms of energy shifts that are happening, we do have Mercury going into retrograde on the 23rd. So we are in the kind of shadow or the lead up to that. And that Mercury in retrograde, even for people who aren't, into astrology and into some of this energy type of work, even they'll be like, oh my gosh, Mercury in retrograde. So there's usually miscommunications, technology issues, lack of focus, irritability. So that's probably not going to help with this situation. So it's going to take some concerted effort to get out of that funk. Uranus in Taurus is also in retrograde, and that's about breaking free of some of this stagnant energy. And so it looks like you're kind of left with this stagnant energy. So let's pull a couple more cards about this energy, the current, and as it moves into that next level of energy. So we've got, what is that? The Nine of Cups in reverse and the Ace of Swords. So your Nine of Cups in reverse, there was something that disappointed you. So like I said, if you were trying to do something a little bit different and it wasn't received the way you thought, it's kind of leading to some of that disappointment. But then over here, kind of with this next level of energy, this is some sort of breakthrough and clarity. So even though, yes, there's some laziness on the other side of that, you're going to get some breakthrough and some clarity. There are a lot of other retrogrades still happening. So Venus, Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, and Chiron are all still in retrograde through the end of this month. Venus is going to be going direct on September 3rd. So we're almost done with Venus in retrograde. And that's one where you're looking at your relationships. It's kind of a make it or break it type of energy. So I see this new breakthrough and this clarity coming kind of on the heels of Venus going direct. It'll help give you a little bit more clarity in terms of what direction to go relationship-wise. And it could be that you're sitting here, not in a relationship. You tried something, it didn't work out, and now, you're back to being single and you're going, I don't really know. I have no idea. I tried a different type of person and that backfired, so I don't really know what to do. All right, let's take a look at what's coming through for your life purpose and mission. In the recent past, you have Judgment, currently sitting in the Six of Swords in reverse energy, and the next level of energy is the Tower. So you've been sitting in that judgment, and usually that's kind of an awakening or a rebirth. And so you've kind of been on the cusp of that, like getting ready to end out whatever cycle in terms of, you had a life path, or you thought this was your mission, this was your life path. And, you can have multiple missions within a lifetime, or, a path takes you to a certain point and then you're intended to switch to a new path. And so you got to that point where there was that judgment, usually judgment's like in the favor of the divine. And so you got to that point, and then now you're sitting this Six of Swords in reverse. There's a resistance to that positive change. Like you're stuck. You don't really want to move forward. And then that's pushing you into Tower energy. So, maybe you feel like from a judgment standpoint, even though normally it has to do with favorable judgment, maybe for you in this situation, it wasn't as favorable of judgment as you were hoping or thinking, so like you tried something new and it wasn't really working. And so now you're sitting here in this, you're resisting some of the positive change, and that pushes you into a Tower moment. So this is kind of that message of look for those opportunities. When something comes knocking, don't be so married to an old idea that you're not seeing the opportunities that are coming towards you. Because if you are not taking advantage of some of that, the universe will make that message get louder and louder until the point where you have a Tower moment. So if the divine is trying to send you lessons, send you messages, and you're not listening, the message keeps getting louder and louder and louder until you have a Tower moment. So, and it's interesting because with this energy, this kind of warm and fuzzy energy, like the overall reading, and then, even overall here with, the next level of energy that's coming through, it's still good, positive energy, even though some of this seems like it's a little bit of that scratching your head, like, I don't know, what do I do with this? I feel like these struggles will be taken in stride. So let's take a look at what message is coming through from Gaia for you. Moonlight, travel, romance, potential. So that's something that, there is potential coming through for you. And some of that is, in terms of moonlight. So the moon card is usually about there's some sort of deception or trickery or illusions. It also has to do with mystery. So if it's travel and romance and potential, whatever you were trying and it wasn't really working. And we are saying here that this Ace of Swords, this new projects, new breakthroughs and clarity coming through, that there's some potential for new romance, and kind of that sort of feel. Let's take a look at your Sacred Creator card, see what comes through there. Stop, drop, and ground. So especially if you feel like you're having a Tower moment that's coming through for you, keeping yourself grounded and connecting with nature is so important. Your growth and your evolution is one of those pathways that as you continue to grow, as you continue to evolve or ascend, these towers become less and less of these earth-shattering, foundation crumbling events. So even though in this picture it's like, oh, got struck by lightning and people are diving out of the tower and all of that craziness, the more you're able to kind of ground yourself and say, hey, if this came crashing down around me, what is the lesson I'm supposed to be learning? What is the potential that this opens up for me? The better off you'll be in terms of being able to kind of take it in stride. Fireweed, ignite new possibilities and adventure. So that definitely goes well with this Moonlight card. in terms of potential and travel and new possibilities. So it seems like maybe something has been coming to an end here, and let yourself be open up to new opportunities, new travel, not resisting that change so much, and really kind of looking at it that there's a plan. There's, the divine is bringing certain things into my field of vision so that I can make different choices. Here, if you were thinking outside of the box and trying something new, okay, maybe that didn't work, but there's something else new that's trying to come in. So make sure you stay open to those possibilities. So I hope today's reading has been helpful for you. As always, take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. There's going to be some other additional readings coming out, like a twin flame reading, if that's a journey that you're on, as well as the daily card pulls. So if you want to be alerted as to when those new videos post, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. Otherwise, I'll be doing the daily card pulls as well. So I wish you peace and joy along your journey, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.